You are live. We are live. All right. Wait for some people to come on. Wow. Okay. All right. We are live. Okay. All right. Hey, Deja Cat, how you doing? How's everybody doing tonight? I just wanted to come and make a live tonight. I was just going to make a video on this subject. Something just hit my mind, and just kind of thought about it. Just some observations, and it wasn't just recently. Well, some of it was recently, but a lot of it that's in my mind about what I'm going to talk about is stuff that I've seen and have experienced and seen it in people. And when it comes to interracial dating, interracial relationships, and primarily black women and white men. And that's why I titled the live Three Types of Brad: the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm going to explain that. That's kind of like I was talking about earlier in one of my lives, Three Brad Circus. Okay, there's three types, in my opinion, of Brads, or it could be even other races of men, in my opinion. And not all fits this, but from what I've seen, it does. First of all, you got the good, right? And when you got the good Brad, this is what I consider, and most people consider, the good one. The one that actually wants to date you because, he's sincere. He really cares about you. He wants to have a relationship with you. He's the good Brad. And that Brad will come in two different types. One has a preference for black women, and the other one don't have a preference. He's just attracted to women and just happens to end up dating a black woman. And if it goes further, that ends up being his preference. And that's the good Brad, the one that comes sincere, has good in his heart, good intentions. Now the bad one, okay? That is the one that you might not know he's the bad one. The one that might play it off like has good intentions and might even deceive you. But his intention is for selfish reasons, for an experience. He's there for himself. He's there to, hey, Carol, he's there to fulfill his desires for himself, for the experience, and the bad one is attracted to black women, but it's short-lived. And, you just got to be on your toes for that one, because there's a lot of good actors that might seem good, but end up not being so good. That's the bad. Now, the ugly Brad, okay, this is the one that can kind of go either way. You don't know. You don't know whether he's interested in you. He is, but he's kind of unsure, walking the fence. He's influenced by other people. You don't know if he's going to come through for you or not. He might not. That's the ugly Brad. You just don't know what you're going to get. And usually that goes bad. The bad, of course, he's there to deceive you and get what he wants out of you. The good Brad is the one that comes with sincerity and kindness in his heart and actually wants to be with you, have a relationship. And I see it all the time. People do talk to me about, because they know my wife's black, and they ask me about black women. It can range from intimate things to just how we live and how we function in regular life with our families. So many areas. But I've seen white guys, other races of men go for black women for that because they want that experience, because they want to see what it's like. So there's like a, hey Carolyn, how you doing? Carol, Natasha. Um, oh God, I lost my train of thought. um, but a lot of guys will go for the black woman because they have a desire, want to see what it's like, that experience, and you don't want to get with those. Um, but there are some that are attracted to black women, and they're sincere in their beliefs. But when you talk to people, I would say when you're dating, you always let them talk about themselves, because sometimes they'll tell on themselves. A lot of times they will, and you know, you can sometimes find out what they're about. Um, are they there for the family? Are they there to date you for a long-term relationship, for marriage? Or are they just there for a good time to see what it's like to be with another group of women? There's a lot of guys like that in every racial group. So that's why vetting is so important. Um, I'm going to put the link up there if you want to come on and talk about this. Um, and I just wanted to just put that out there, because a lot of times when we date and get in relationships, we don't vet and we don't really get to know that person. We just think if they're attractive and fun to be with, it's going to work. And you need more than that. You need to go further than that. I just experienced that with the Brad trying to be smooth and slick. But I was a step ahead. And yeah, you got to be. There's slick Brads out there. Those are the bad ones. They're the ones. And if you listen to them talk, them having their desires about black women, when they just talk about the physical, and they don't talk about the inner beauty. And I'm telling you, a good way to tell if Brad's really interested in you, ask him what he thinks about. Hey, Ms. Nodal, good to see you.
Good to see. Hi, Brett. Hi, Brent.
Hi,
Good to
how
see
you
you.
doing?
I was I just signed in, obviously, and I'm glad to catch you live. So you're talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly Brads. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, and I just had a thought about that, and I've seen it. There's those that are for the experience, to see what it's like, the excitement, and they focus on the woman as an object, her body parts. And black women are beautiful, but the good Brad is looking beyond that. Of course, men and women, we all have desires. It's natural, but there's a time and place for all that stuff. But when you're dating, that's not the time, because you don't want to go there till it's for real. And I just see guys that'll date like that. I see people, and you can tell how they talk, where they focus on, you know, the body shape. It's a lot about looks, and a lot of times you can tell. Um, you could ask Brad, what do you think about black women, or what's he think about you? Can he tell you what he loves about black women? I can in 2 minutes. You know, I can go from the outer beauty to the inner beauty, and the qualities, and the character, and the spirituality. I can just, and if they can't name that, they're not focused on nothing but the outer beauty. You know.
Oh, to just to add to that, Brent, you're right. But I think you have to vet with anyone, not just Brad's,
Yeah. No.
Tyrone's, Chung
Yeah.
Lee, whomever. But I think with the Brads, my experience with them, and I had my first date with a white guy, Brad, when I was like 20, 21 years old. I felt like his name was Larry. He's a million Larry. So anyway, long story short, he was coming from a place of not wholeness and peace. He married someone. She was Caucasian. And
Oh, what?
unfortunately, she didn't marry him for the right reasons. She didn't marry him for love. And I think everyone recognized it but him. He was in love, and she was just probably just happy someone actually married her. And when I realized that he was definitely, I've always been attracted to all men. I think all men are there's good looking men in every race,
Yeah.
but and he was a handsome dude, but he had a lot of issues. Well, we call him a Brad, because he wasn't dating from a place of peace and wholeness. He wasn't dating from a place of. He was dating from a place of I'm hurt, I'm disappointed, and it's not a place of. I don't think he. I think he. I really felt like, to me, if I reflect back, he was selling on me because he just wasn't doing well in the dating scene, and he had a lot of anger in him. He had a lot of hurt and a lot of. He just did, and then I went on a date with another guy some years later. Later, he was a teacher. He was a little odd. I mean, it's so hard. I mean, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I think people in general have to date from a place of not just vetting, but just that you need to be good with yourself and make sure whoever you're dating is really getting to know them, talking to them, and asking uncomfortable questions like, you know, how do you feel about interracial dating? How do you feel about being with someone not from your culture and community? How do you feel about um just are you looking for love? Like, I think people date from attraction, because there are some guys that do fetishize you, and then there's people that fetishize back. And short story shorter, they're dating from a curiosity. You see a lot of white women going with black men because it's a curiosity, and vice
Yeah.
versa. And it's not dating from a place of, I think it's just hard. And I think you and Sandy have a beautiful story, because you genuinely loved her, you genuinely thought she was beautiful, you genuinely cared, you genuinely wanted to build a life for her. And I think she got a unicorn. You're a golden unicorn.
Yeah.
And not to say that there's not good men, and but good, the bad, and the ugly is, dating is just much harder now, because
Yeah.
people don't date always for love now. People date, people. This is a more secular, more the world is becoming more secular, meaning less religious, and so people don't date from a place of principle, morals. And I'm not religious. I'm not a overly religious person, but excuse me. People don't date for love as much as they used to. People date of attraction, and then they hope everything falls into place after that. And everything doesn't always fall into place just because you're excuse me, physically attracted to each other. And
Yeah.
sometimes we date from a place, and I realized through the years that we date from a place. Oh, I like you. You're attractive. You're attracted to me. Let's hope. Okay, do you check off all these boxes? By that time, you have already had an intimate relationship with this person. You've already, you've already gone out, and then you're hoping that I'm not going to hold up. I'm not going to take the floor too long, but you're hoping that everything falls into place. Everything just pans out, and sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. And then you put on a component of being from two different communities, interracial. Those are challenges in itself, even though times are changing and more people, we're becoming more of a global community, and more interracial couples are happening, which is a positive thing, but it's still a lot of challenges in that. And you're right.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, I think for black women, if you want to date a Brad, don't date him just because, oh, he's white, he's cute, and he's interested in me. Really get to know him as you would vet a black guy or Asian, any other
Yeah.
man. And that's what I
Yeah.
have to say.
Yeah. No, I just put three Brads because we talk about interracial relationships and stuff. And I just want to bring it to everybody's attention. I know when we were talking, some of the ladies were talking about their experiences with black men, and that's I can't really get into that because I don't know. I just can go off what you ladies tell me. But I mean, with Brads and other races of men that I've seen, why they go out for black women. a lot of it's for, like the experience, the excitement, and some of it's genuine too. You just got to be on your toes, for,
Oh, sorry.
experience. Oh, is that me echoing? But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. But yeah, you're most certainly right. I mean, any group of people you got to vet. It don't matter the race. The race don't make the relationship. It's the character of the people. Um, you know, and oh, Carol dropped off. I'm sorry, Carol. Hey, Carol, go ahead and come back on. I kind of she was waiting for a little while, and let's see if I can get. Let me put this back up. Hey, Carol, I'm sorry. Come back on. I think we lost you. Yeah, but uh, did it go? Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's just the thing I wanted to put out there because I see a lot of guys that will do that and that will, well, guys, men these days they're very deceitful. They go for what they want, and we're living in a time where dating's not there to lead to marriage so much is that we use it as a lifestyle instead of using it to see who we're going to marry and have a family with and all that. Um, and a lot of people are interracially dating, and a lot of people, get that feeling that the grass is greener over the hill, and that if I get with another group, it's going to be better. And it could be, and it might not be. I mean, depending on who you go with, and I just do it from. I'm just talking from a standpoint because when I went for my wife, I was the Brad that was my preference, and how it got there. Well, life experiences. I had good experience with black women as when I was a boy. I mean, and I think through time, it just, you know, I just felt the love, you might say. And when I got to dating, that's what I wanted to date. And all women are attractive, you know, but the other Brad just attracted the women, you know, and, people tell me I should be like that, just think all women are beautiful, which I think they're all beautiful, but I have my preference. I would lie if I said I didn't. But anyway, okay, grandmother's love. Welcome to the
Hey,
panel.
hey, Mr. Brand, how are you doing? And I forget the other lady's name that's on the panel, but hello.
Oh, Ms. Know-It-All. Yes.
Oh, Miss
Yeah.
Know-It-All. Okay. Hi, Miss Know-It-All and Mr. Brett.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I just want to,
Sorry.
I want Miss Know-It-All and Mr. Brett.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I had it my.
I'm doing okay.
I'm sorry.
I just want to,
Sorry.
I want Miss Know-It-All and Mr. Brett.
Sorry.
Oh,
I'm
we're
so
getting
sorry.
an echo.
I had it
What are we doing? What's going on?
on mute. Yes.
Okay, we're getting some echo.
I'm not sure what happened there. But anyway, I want to interject a thought, you guys. Okay, so I think this. I think in any race, I don't care if it's the same race, you have to vet anybody, whoever it may be, because um, there's good and bad in every race, as we all have acknowledged that. I think you guys have said that many times over. But I think that sometimes now you, Brett, was very unique because you knew that you like black women early on. There may be white men out there that's not sure, just as black women out there that's still not sure. But sometimes every now and then you do come across somebody that you do have a connection. Now I know it's based on more than just obviously looks, because that do fade over a period of time, and we all change. So it's really what's in an individual's heart. But I think I've heard a few times where it's been said that maybe, I mean, if you don't, I don't know. I just feel like because life is not always black and white. There's a lot of gray, and I think that if you've not dated outside of your race, and that goes for both sides, um, other than the fact, because all races date for want somebody that's attractive. Most men and women. I mean, we may say, well, you deal with the average person, which is fine. Because the bottom line, we do know that it is based on what's in your heart and the fact that you guys get along and you have the same common values and things of that nature. But I'm just saying personally, like if it's somebody that's of the opposite race and they're not for sure, you knew what you wanted, right? Everybody is coming on board, whether female or male, may not be on the same scale. You get what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
everybody, I mean, you had early, you knew that you were into Black women, but everybody, and I'm saying even for the white men, even for Black women, I mean, I didn't know early on that I would be interested in a white guy. I've always dated within my race, but now I'm at the place where, yes, I would. I mean, I've dated white guys, but never like a serious relationship to the point that I'm certainly leaving the door open. And I'm not just exclusively just looking for a white guy. I mean, I'm thinking, like you said many times over, love is love. So wherever I get love and somebody's gonna love me and I can love them in return, and we have a good common ground and we have common interests. I mean, all the things that we know that go along with good relationship, that's what we want. I mean, that's what we're looking for. But I am more inquisitive now, and I will say I'm more uh, strongly drawn to. I'm interested as far as the white guy, the white man. So I will say that, but it took a while for me to get to that place.
Yeah, and most people are in the same boat as you. Most people don't date out. Um, I I'm my own person. I look at myself as like a free thinking individual. I kind of, and I was never really um I'm not going to say taught racism. Well, I was never taught racism, but I never felt like it was wrong. You know what I mean? I
Right,
felt like I wondered why I only seen Black men with white women and I didn't see it the other way around. I was curious about that, but I've never been told it was wrong. I never felt. I was like, why isn't it going the other way? You know,
right. Good thing
you
for
know.
me. I'm very blessed. A lot of people may not. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but in my mind, I'm thinking all of us was not raised like that, and your parents or family did not teach you to look upon another race as to look down on them. And that's good, but everybody can't say that because even in the Black
Yeah,
world, we deal with challenges too. And although it may not be as prevalent as racism, but we deal with our own challenges too when it comes to the opposite race. I think you guys were talking the other day, if I'm not mistaken, was on forgiveness. And then I'm thinking, even in our race, we've got to learn how to forgive too, because now this is just my personal opinion, everybody. I don't want people to start getting upset, but I do feel like sometimes, even in our race, we can hold um, what happened back in slavery time. I mean, yeah, we want to be mindful of that. We racism do strongly exist today because we deal with it. But at the same token, still have an open mind, like, okay, everybody is not like that. Just as every Black person's not the same, every white person's not the same either.
yeah, and with the racism and stuff, I don't like to talk about it, but I do because it's necessary. Because if you're in an interracial relationship or marriage, it's going to be thrown in your face.
That's
And
true.
I've had people that don't agree with my relationship throw that at me, talk about racism and
Can, can,
sins of the past, and that's fine. I don't mind having a discussion. I don't like to bring it up except when I feel it's needed, because if you're going in a racially date, you got to be prepared for it.
That's true.
And a lot of white people don't feel comfortable because they feel like, look, I wasn't around then, it's not my fault, or they have that guilt inside. And Some of them won't date because of that. I just
If you've never done it before, it is awkward. I'm gonna be honest with you because I mean I have dated a few times, not a lot, just here and there. But if all the time you've grown up in your environment and all you've known is your race of people, when you do finally step out, I mean, can't speak for some of the other ladies because I heard that some of the ladies have dated, so they may have felt very comfortable. Me, on the other hand, it was a gradual thing. It was yes, I did feel uncomfortable. Everybody staring at me like, wait a minute. It felt funny when I was going to the restaurant with this white guy, or going to the excuse me, and feel like all eyes are on you.
yeah, and
But
yeah, if you haven't, yeah, it can feel uncomfortable if people ain't used to it because in your mind you think when somebody's looking at you, it's because you're with that person, and they might just be looking at you. With I've been married to my wife so long, I don't even think about people looking at me. I don't. Well, even when I first got married to my wife, I didn't really focus on that. That didn't even.
it probably didn't. It probably did not one bit because I dated this one. The first white guy that I dated, he was a little younger than me. He didn't have any problems holding my hand out in public. And I have to be honest because I was much younger and kind of naive, but I was not comfortable with him out there. I don't know. It was just.
Can I say something to that? I had similar experience. When I was younger too, it was I'm young, but I'm not young. But anyway, so back when I tried to date outside my race, I had the same insecurities as she explained. Like, it's not normal. I grew up in a predominantly African American Latino community, so it wasn't. Maybe with a Latino that's not odd, but with a white guy, a full blonde, blue eyed, a Caucasian white guy, a Anglo-Saxon European looking person, it was some sort of insecurities, or not just insecurities, or you was always worried about someone looking at you. But then I want to also speak to why Black women, I think we've been indoctrinated subliminally and upfront to be race loyal, to always be loyal to Black men, to be ride or dies, to always lift them up, because our history in this country, obviously, Brent, is different than yours, than your ancestors and whatever. So
Yeah.
we've always been said, like, be supportive, be there for them, and all of these things. And it's not reciprocated. It's on one side loyalty. And I'm not trying to bash Black men. And I know sometimes I'm harsh in some of my comments, but there's just some uncomfortable truths. And unfortunately, I just never really thought about white guys being interested in us, because sometimes non-Black guys, like Black guys, have a certain bravado and sort of way of showing that they're interested in you. It's kind of clear and out there. When you have non-Black men coming on to you as a Black woman, um it's different. They don't put it out there, or all the time, and they're not as I don't always think they're the most confident. Like they come off to you maybe like a friend, so it's hard to read them. So don't know if they're interested in you, whether they're good, bad, or ugly, Brad. You have no, especially back in the days. Now for this
Yeah.
generation, millennials and Z's, it's a lot different because they're living in the age of social media, modern technology. Everything is quick, fast. Everything's online. You can, at the touch of a button, and we're inundated and bombarded with so many images on social media, Facebook. So people see more and more. So it's becoming normalized to be interracial. And you're seeing it with the celebrities, especially Black male celebrities. They're dating out a lot, and even these Black female celebrities are dating out. So it's becoming more and more, not less taboo for Black women. But like I said, we've been indoctrinated to be so loyal to Black men. We've been indoctrinated to be pro-Black. We've been indoctrinated to do that from our moms, our grandmas, our dads, if they were in your life. So it's not that we never liked you or thought you was interested, and we just didn't think that you guys might maybe into us. We figured you'd be race loyal. You'd want to be with your kind. So it's just, this is just a time in history where things are changing rapidly. And like I said, we're in the age of media, we're in the age of social media. Everything is visual. So we all now are being able to see it, touch it, breathe it, and it seems less like the woman spoke earlier of. I'm sorry, what's your name? And I apologize for earlier. I had
Grandmother's love.
because I'm watching you onto my television and I'm talking to you through my phone, so that's why you heard the echoes. What is your name?
Miss Anita, grandmother's love.
Oh, hi, grandmother's love. So, like what you were saying, the same sort of insecurities if you were with some white guy, because
Right.
I mean, taking them to the hood, taking them to the neighborhood would be kind of odd, you know. At the time when I'm younger, I'm a woman of a certain age, so it was like, I mean, I'm not
Right.
old, but I'm just saying it just would have been. But now, this day and age, and you're one of the pioneers, Brent. You've been with your wife 20 something years. That means you probably in your late 40s to early 50s. You took a plunge in the leap that
52.
what you say?
I said 52.
You don't look it. You look younger than that. You
Thanks.
I
you
good.
you
Look
you
good with the beard
you
too. I want
do.
to. I'm sorry,
You
but I
do.
just say
You
that
do.
beard looks really nice. Mustache.
And you have a nice head of hair. Both of you and your wife have a nice full head of hair. That must be the
Oh, that.
happiness. But my point I'm trying to say is you took the plunge at a time where the interracial it wasn't as prevalent, it wasn't out there, it wasn't being publicized, it wasn't out there where people could just click the button and see an interracial couple. So not only were you brave, you were brave to be living your truth and what you like and what you wanted to do. You lived in your truth. Where a lot of men, maybe white guys, Brads like you, probably liked a black girl, but they thought about their family, the image, what their children go through. So I mean, things are changing, you know, and I think it's for the positive. And like I said,
Yes.
unfortunately, now, but I'm so happy this younger generation have not been indoctrinated, and they're seeing the younger black females are not indoctrinated with race loyalty. I'm glad they're not, because a lot of us been through a lot with our natural counterparts, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, with the race loyalty, and if you think about it, our country's not that old, and we're just now really not
Right.
too long ago we got integrated. So it's like still,
Oh yeah, civil rights was only 68 years, I mean 55, 53 years ago. And
yeah,
integration, I mean, you gotta understand, people are tribal by nature. We're all tribal by nature. We all tend to gravitate to our natural counterparts. It's normal to do that, but it's also normal to have a natural curiosity or to explore your natural attraction to someone else.
Yeah.
And like you said, this country is one of the youngest in the world, and so we're doing things that's beyond, you know, like, and we're starting, you know. But you even look in the UK, there's a lot of white guys with black women. You go to
yeah,
parts of there's a lot of white guys married to black women in the Caribbean. It's just that, you know, like I said, unfortunately black men wasn't indoctrinated, but black males, but black women were. I can speak for myself. I don't know about grandma's love, if she was indoctrinated to be race loyal, and specifically to black men, like lift them up no matter how awful they are, how degenerate they are, how of a derelict they are, just be with them. And you never looked at the other side. But then this also comes to a point in my generation, then let's say 20 years ago, we weren't, it's just guys, white guys just never really came out. But I think white guys are now more open, because I remember maybe about 10 years ago, this what I was on a platform in New York City train station. He was on the other cross of the platform. This gorgeous little cute white guy who waved at me, and I waved back at me, and we both smiled. And then he went downstairs, came all the way around. He said, "Hey, can I talk to you? Can I get your number?" I was so flattered, but unfortunately, I was in a relationship. But I wish I probably would have took his number. But anyway, short story short, I'm not gonna hold up the floor. But long story short, yeah, it's, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly Brads. It's vetting and vetting and vetting and more
yes,
vetting, and just really getting to know someone else, and that's, you know, that's the best you can do. And like I
Yeah.
said, have honest, unfiltered conversation about how they truly feel about race, and you could determine if it's a fetish, if it's just, you know,
yes,
I'm just horny, I just want to try out a black girl. I had a girlfriend named Tammy, and she had met this white guy. He was gorgeous, and he just wanted to hook up with her because she was black. and she didn't realize it until the end, like not into the end, but she was dating him, but she could tell that he just wanted to say, hey, I was with a black girl. So I mean, sometimes you have to, like I said, vet and just have, and you'll see by his actions and how he behaves, and because there's some dusty Brads out here too, just like there's dusty Tyrones, Pookies, and Ray Rays. There's
Yep.
dusty ass Brads too, so you have to be careful of that. Nice
Yeah.
to see you. The young lady at the bottom. I don't know her. I forgot her name.
Becca. Hey, Becca.
Hey, Becca.
Hi,
Hello.
everybody. Hi, everybody. I just woke up, but yeah, hey.
The floor is yours. Anyone?
I just wanted to piggyback on what you were saying. I was like, yeah, there's always multiple types of breads, but my main thing is I always look for is just like, hey, if he has a lot of black male friends, that's always a sign for me to just leave him alone.
That's a no.
Yeah, it was funny. There was like this Italian guy who was like, he was doing like a reaction to the Godfrey video, and that's exactly what he said. And I was just like, how does he know? He said, because he said pretty much, he said every black girl that he's ever met that's in an interracial relationship, they stay away from the white guys who have a lot of black male friends. And I'm like, oh wow, he's been paying. He took notes.
We call them wiggers. I know that's not nice, but we used to call them wiggers.
I'm not even talking about wiggers. I'm talking about like the Cleveland Browns from Family Guy. Like, okay, dude, no, you hanging around, because that self-hatred comes in all types of black men, and even gay black men is no exception.
True.
So it's like, well, if I see you have a lot of black male friends, because you gotta, you understand how the male psyche works. Males, whether they like to believe it or not, are very much influenced by their men. I mean, Brent shared a story about how his friend that he grew up with, knew he loved Sandy and said some horrible crap to her. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. So I will always say that. And I agree with you. You got to watch out for the any type of non-black man that's just in it for the sexual thrill. But I also think that black women just need to be psychologically prepared for yourselves. Like, you need to really vet yourself. If you have an idea about or commentary about Black America, and this person who's non-black has the exact same commentary, don't judge them harsher than you. If you have, right, and I find that also can be an issue. I'm like, well, if if some guy is saying certain things that I can hear certain militant black men who are eager to get the black community under shape say, give constructive criticism about black men, and a non-black man says that don't give them a harsher reaction because they're non-black. That's just truth. And I think when it comes to interracial relationship, you need to stand by truth more than your own emotions into it. If it's something like, hey, black men talk about colorism a lot, and if a non-black man says it, you can't get madder at them. That's the truth. That's a reality. Yep. I would caution about that. Caution about that as well. It's not like you're a man hating. It's just like you just gotta have the same energy, and also class makes a difference.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have a question. This is towards Brett. When you knew your preference earlier on, when you said, I believe you said when you was a young boy. Okay, but I also remember you said that Sandy, if I'm not mistaken, that you were the first white man that she ever dated. So she didn't go on with the intentions of when she went out, when she first met you, like, I'm going to hook up with a white guy. She had to learn you. You guys had to spend some time together. And for her to determine, well, both of you guys, if y'all like one another or not.
Yeah. I was the first white guy she dated. Yes. I had a preference, and she only dated black men till me, and she never even thought about it until she met me, and then we hit it off and got married, and then almost 30 years later, here we are still, and
You guys talk about though, when you guys, if she's never dated a white guy before, I'm sure there was some cultural well, obviously, but what were some of the things initially when you guys started dating? I mean, you had been with black women before. She never been with a white guy. So what's some of the things that she probably would like to know when you're dating a white guy for the first time? I mean, you had to help her, I'm sure, in some areas that she had to maybe open your eyes in some areas.
well, I don't think there was really an issue. She just never thought about it. I knew her like 5 months for 5 months, and we got married, and we did it really quick. And
Okay.
it was well, we're from the same town. We're from the same place, so
Okay.
yeah, she made out, but and our families were both blue collar families. I mean, her dad was a retired Army and worked at the post office, and then my dad was a fireman and a paramedic. So we were like in the same financial maybe classification.
So you have commonality there.
Yeah, and both our parents, our parents were married. We come from, a married family. Well, I have my stepmom, and
Right.
but I had that family structure, and I did bounce back and forth from my mom and dad, but I had that family structure just like my wife did, so we knew what we wanted, and we got
Right.
to know each other, and it wasn't like there was like we got to learn how to be with each other because we're different. We just did it. It was like we didn't really focus on it. Does that make sense? I know,
Right.
and maybe it's just where we live because I never,
Maybe
when
that
I
could
got,
be too.
I
Smaller
never,
community, maybe.
I never, I never dealt with real racism. I mean, the worst we get is a dirty look, maybe. Yeah, you know what I mean? And where we live, people really don't care about that.
Right. Difference.
But when I got in the Army and we moved to different places, then I see how some people really felt, and and it wasn't horrible. I mean, we did have a couple horrible situations with idiot people, but I mean, for the most part, you know.
But by
But
then, you guys were married. At that point in time, you guys had already been married, right?
yeah, we were married for a while, so it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have broke us apart if we were newlyweds. I mean, we love each other, and we're a family. And
Yep.
like I always said, my wife is the most important person in my family.
Yeah. As it
I
should
am
be.
to her, and that's a marriage. Who you're married to is the most important person above mom, dad, even your kids.
That's right. Biblical. That's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, and we both come from Christian families, so we are people of faith. So, and we're the same religion, so kind of it worked. It just meshed together nice, you know.
Good.
And that's the blessing I had. And our families, there was no conflict. So I mean, in Labor Day, I had her family and my family over, and we had fun.
Oh,
You see, yeah, and you see in movies sometimes. You see in movies how they have little fights and the racial component and the cultures are clashing and the mother-in-law is fighting with the father-in-law and all that craziness.
yeah.
I just look at that and laugh because I never experienced no crazy stuff like that. I think people just go off stereotypes and generalizations and think that's how it is. And maybe, some other families, maybe it's like that. I don't know. In mine, it's not.
I agree. I think it's sensationalized.
Yeah.
I think the funniest part, the only one I actually approve of those movies is Guess Who, and that's only because it has Bernie Mac, and Bernie Mac is just goofy. You know,
Yeah.
he's gonna
Yeah.
be an exaggerator. You
Yeah.
know, and then he has Ashton Kutcher, who is another comedian. And so, yeah, there's some things that when he saw him playing with his, in the lingerie with his, in a daughter's lingerie, that's a situation any man would be like, excuse me, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But they made it funny. And that's the only movie I ever approved of. But I think, like I said, it's a lot of sensationalized. That's why I strongly, fervently say that black women, white men couples, they are the ones that get the most hatred, because there's so much vitriol around that you don't get. I mean, look at Get Out. Get Out did not get that same amount of like, oh my God, it's so horrible. Or even when you see it, like, black man and a white woman nowadays, they don't get the same vitriol as you see, what we actually live in these YouTube streets. So, you know, it's just it's really a conundrum how the reality is so much different than what they portray it to be.
Yeah. And well, and to YouTube, you can't really trust YouTube reality. I think a lot of people go in at each other for the views, for the drama, for the
Yes, the
but
clicks, because they get paid. They're making money.
yeah, yeah, you do.
It's monetary. They're making this is their income. So yes,
True.
it's they're taking it. I think Kevin Samuels, for instance, he wasn't really going at it, but men tuned in for the teardown. See, if he had if he had a show where they were talking about how black men can level themselves up financially, business wise, they would get the lowest views, and they would get the lowest views if he did that. But if he's tearing down a woman and demeaning her and degrading her, it'll get the most clicks, because the men that watch him are angry men. They're men who just didn't do well in the dating scene from their teens to their
In-
20s and beyond, or they got,
Incels.
yeah, incels, right? Incels, and they're hurt, they have issues, and they're there for the teardown. And some of them even struggle with their sexuality. So it's so his audience. And if you, this is how I judged Kevin Samuels. I didn't. When he first came on the scene and everyone was on the big buzz, I said, let me make some objective decisions on him. I'm not going to just go by what everyone says. So I watched a few of his videos, and then what I said, the real telling is when you look into the comments and who's subscribing and who's commenting. And I will tell you, there were men in there talking about going to South America, Africa, to get like 11 and 12-year-old girls and guys, and these guys are so not intelligent. I mean, all of this is recorded, and these guys are saying, yeah, you could go to South America or Africa, you could get a girl 12, 11, 12, 13, you can control them, they'll obey you. He has pedophiles that watch him. So
Oh man.
Yeah.
he has a creepy following. These guys are not normal guys. These guys are probably 40, 50 years old, live at home with mom. Like Sinji said, in the in the basement, on a mattress, on the floor. I mean, they're not normal guys. They're not regular dudes that did well with women, and they're angry, and they needed someone. They and when they said the average at best woman, Jessica, you know, you know, I don't want to make this a black male bashing thing, but it's a lot of, we have a lot. See, I'm as an African American woman, a lot of us need to lay on somebody's couch. Most of us, 99% of us, it is hard being black on this planet, Britain. I'm not asking for sympathy, but being black on this planet we're the only group of people, race of people, who are constantly reminded that we're black. And how this relates to what I'm saying, it's just that it has really gotten us to a place, a lot of us are not mentally sound. Some of us are more severely insane, and some are more just, we all need to like get some therapy. And I feel like when I saw those comments, and I'm like, these men are saying, giving instructions, and none of them is saying, hey dude, you can't say this online. They're giving instructions on how to go pick up children. It's this whole group of black males. They call them passport boys too, passport bros or whatever. But they're
Mm-hmm.
also talking about, they're also feeling like, oh, we need to go back, like screw the white man rules. We need to go back to how in Africa you could marry a 9-year-old. They say things like that. But I mean, you hate the white man's rules, but if you hate the white man's rules, you all should go back to Africa, walking around barefooted with a bone in your nose, naked, and a spear. If you hate the white man's rules, so then you don't need a cell phone. If you don't like what the white men do, you shouldn't like cell phones, rule of law, transport, modern transportation, cars. If you hate what he said, oh, this is the white man rules marriage. Oh, not sleeping with a 9-year-old is a white man rule, and that's just some of the issues
I
I have with them.
I agree. You need to drop that cell phone, stop that internet,
Exactly.
take them clothes back to
Like,
the store,
walk
stop
around
that
barefooted.
haircut, stop watching that basketball, stop watching all them sports for that matter, and just go back. Just go back. I mean, I went to an Afrocentric school. My homerooms were divided into the West African kingdoms. Okay, I know that stuff like the back of my hands. Okay, and with the failure of this like Afrocentricity mindset, they forget that Africa is a big caste system. Okay, you forget many of those nations are caste systems. Okay, so free education, that's a white man's ideology. Because if you was in Africa, I'm gonna be honest, if you were in the kingdom of Ghana, if you were born into a lower caste, you don't even know how to read your own name. If your family did not convert to Islam, you would not be allowed to trade or sell. You would probably be a slave somewhere. That's just how they rock. It's very caste system, and even to this day, Nigeria has one of the most rigid caste systems of them all. So it just boggles the mind. But I wanted to say something about April Rain. She said she worries about being fetishized.
I
no.
actually, Becca, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I wanted to actually ask this particular question to Mr. Brent. I also wanted to address something that was said by Miss Know It All earlier. I will say that I was never steered from dating a white man. I was always presented that white men will only fetish you. They will fetish your skin. If they may, and so that to me is what makes me apprehensive when I interact, particularly with older white men, which can tend to be my preference. But not all give that. I won't say that all. Some of them give genuine vibes, but then some I just don't know. So I would like for you to maybe consider talking about fetish. I
Yeah,
don't know how many other women, I can't speak, but I know that's my biggest hesitation of why I'm so I'm not gonna say on the fence, but because I've never dated a white man, I will just say that would be my biggest discernment that I would practice is like how do you how do you know a compliment versus I don't know. It gets confusion. I
well,
guess you just go off of energy, but I don't know.
yeah, well, you could look about what they say. Fetishizing. Um, Men of all races do it. And a fetishization is like focusing on a body part or the woman as an object, as a sexual object. Men do it of all races. Yeah, there's the people say that white men do it because they fetishize you. Um, there are white men that do that and they do fetishize, yes. Um, but a lot of us don't. We're just looking for a relationship. But a lot of ways you can tell maybe how they talk to you. Are they focused um, on your body parts or, kind of, I don't know how you would pinpoint it, but you can kind of see where someone's going when you're dating them. What their
main purpose and focal point is.
Yeah. You know, just how they talk to you. I mean, how they approach you. I mean, they could say, you know, I like you. You're very beautiful, and that's good. But you know, hey man, you got a nice body. I mean, I love your shape. And now if they start talking like that, that could be a sign they're fetishizing you. You know, if a man says you're beautiful, they're just giving you a compliment that you look beautiful. But if he says, man, you got a
How do you know in regards to when they reference your skin tone?
well,
Particularly if you're writing online. How do you know if it's a compliment versus I don't know, you just let the
I don't think you can.
conversation proceed?
I don't think you can know for sure whether it is because he might just say, you know, you got beautiful skin. You know, I like your dark skin. That might be just a compliment, and he thinks that looks really nice. That don't mean it's sexual, but it could mean that. I mean, you know, it's just
you got to gauge it.
It's kind of weird. I wouldn't. I've never told a woman that. I've never referenced her skin color. You know what I mean? I've attracted black women, but I don't focus on that or body parts. You know, it just to me that's weird. And if they go there, that might be a red flag. You know, I've always said and I haven't dated since 1993, so I've been, you know, but back in the day, you know, I'd always tell them they're beautiful. I would never say anything about their body shape, and I wouldn't reference their skin tone or nothing like that. But not to say that's bad. I mean, they might say you have a good, you know, your skin tone looks beautiful, you know.
So you saying you were a mindful swirler?
Yeah, I would. Well,
I'm just joking. I get it. That's very respectful and mindful.
Yeah, you want to be respectful because you don't want to talk about. I don't know. It just seems weird to talk about a woman's shape or body parts. Or to me, if they're doing that to you and you're just mad at them, I mean, I'd probably say run, get away. But I mean, you know, but if they say, you know, you're beautiful, you know that. I mean, I tell women they're beautiful all the time. I'm not attracted. Not that I'm not attracted to them. I just, you know, women are beautiful. You know, but I would just how they say it, where their focus is. Sometimes you can tell where they're going with it. I mean, if you're on a date and they start talking about certain things, and it's getting intimate, and you just met him, that's probably a red flag. He's moving too fast, and you know, you want someone that's into you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, just by them saying skin tone, or I mean, it's hard to tell. And some people might just compliment. They might tell them you got a beautiful shape, and they might not mean it in a sexual way. They might not be fetishizing you, but then again, they might be. You'd have to get in their mind. But the respectful man's just going to tell you you're beautiful. He ain't going to go into detail.
Thank you for answering my question.
Sure. Thank
you for answering my question. I'm gonna hop off the panel. I just wanted to ask that. I'm gonna go back into the chat. Thank you, Mr. Brent, for asking.
Thanks, April.
Answering. Sorry, I'm hoarse.
Oh, no worries. Thanks for coming on, April. Yeah. And you know, my advice ain't 100%. I'm telling what I think would be a red flag. I never, you know, and guys, I would say if you approach a woman, a black woman, you're a white guy, you probably want to just tell her she's beautiful. You don't want to go into her shape or, you know, her skin tone. Just tell her she's beautiful, and you know, tell her she's beautiful inside and out. That way, she knows you're not just talking about the outside beauty. You know.
Can I talk about it a little bit?
Yes, you can.
Sure. I mean, when it comes to fetishes, there's two versions of it. I mean, like you said, everybody has something that they like, and
Yeah,
it just means it's a sexual devotion to it. That's just what gets them off. Now, fetishes can go really wrong when it comes to dehumanizing side of it. But if it's on the more benign, this is just what I like, that's perfectly fine. And I think black women need to understand that. Like, okay, like if let's suspend race for example. If a man has a fetish about breasts, of course he's only going to date women who had the breast size he likes. Okay, but that does not mean
yeah,
that any other woman that doesn't have that breast that he's going to dehumanize. Now, there are, of course, there are going to be men who are going to be sleazy and date women who got like Z cups because they can, and they're going to
yeah,
demoralize them just because they're Z cups. However, there are going to be men who going to see like the woman who got their perfect breast size. They have a breast fetish, but they're still going to treat them like human. That's just they just have they in their mind they just have the best of both worlds when it comes to sexuality, because I have what I want, exactly what I want, and we get along on the human aspect of it. Same thing with the foot fetish. I've had cousins who married a foot fetish. Yeah, okay, it may sound creepy when people have this idea of fetishizing, but fetishizing, like, it doesn't necessarily always have to be like so creepy and bad. It's about which side are they on? Are they dehumanizing you, or are they just like, hey, this is just my thing? Everybody has things in sexuality or romance that they just into, and that's just keeping it real. And when it comes to race, yeah, when it is about dark skin or stuff, hey, you know what? That we are the only people in the world who have our skin. Okay, I'm gonna be blunt. We are
yeah,
literally the anomalies of the world. Of course, that is going to be a factor. That's just how sexuality works. If you are the only person in the room that has like, well, if you were the first girl that had breasts in your grade, let me tell you something. You became every boy's crush, whether you liked it or not, whether you were aware of it or not. That's just how it is. You know, it's just one of those things. When it comes to, we are the only women who have our hair textures. We are the only women who have our nose features, our lip features, and all of them can be combined. So is it okay if a man might find those things attractive? Absolutely. We're the only ones who have those things. This is no different than prior to plastic surgery, a woman with a natural D cup being the most popular woman. Because why? That was rare. That was rare, and that was beauty. you know and I think black women, we need to get more used to being seen as the star of the star attraction. It's not always so, oh, it's so miserable and horrible. No, because we are the desire, the object of affection. No, it can sometimes can be really good. It's just if it's dehumanizing or not. But that's with
yeah,
anybody. That's with
yeah.
anybody.
I would just say, yeah. I hear what you're saying, and us as men and women, we have our desires, and yes, the as a man looking at a woman, yes, her body's attractive. We're just wired like that. And there's desires. Um, but I think getting to know the person, and a good man's not going to just focus on that. Now, if
Absolutely.
and stuff like that, yeah, there's certain things that'll turn you on, but I'm traditional. That's between me and my wife. But uh, yeah, I hear what you're saying. But I think a lot of people are afraid that men are going just focus on
I
that
will just
certain
say
thing
I
about them.
heard I will just, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I heard Becca's point of view, and there's a difference between admiration and fetishizing. And so for me, always as from a young age to even present day, it's always been a fetish, and it's not necessarily with white men. I'm just talking about in men general. So, for instance, you could admire someone's hair, but then fetishize it. And you can only want someone because they have a specific texture. That has been something that has occurred throughout my. So that would then, if someone is only objectifying a certain aspect, you can admire a woman's physique, but there's more to her. There's a soul. So I've heard women that have had voluptuous butts say is not all that it's cracked up to be, because you don't know if that man likes you for who you are or just that object. And so they have to go through all of these extra barriers because they've been objectified for certain parts of their body. So admiring someone is simply saying your hair is beautiful, oh, I like your hair. But objectifying certain parts of someone's body or anatomy is kind of weird. So that's what I'm saying. It means it's weird. Admiration is a compliment. Objectifying it, in my opinion, is weird. So I just wanted to clarify. I heard what you said. I just feel that there's admiration, and then there's just I don't know what part, which one of those 10 commandments it would be under, but I'm pretty. It's like I don't know if it. I don't know what it would be called, but it's not honorable. It's not. It doesn't make that person feel good. It gives you like this really eerie feeling in the pit of your stomach. That's how it feels. So that's what I'm saying. That's the difference between admiration and being objectified over that. So I'm just that's all. But Becca, I appreciate your perspective, and I do appreciate compliments. You do know compliments versus objectification. So I just wanted to get Mr. Brent's perspective because he is a white man. All right, I'm gonna hop off.
Okay, thanks, April. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, moving along. Did we get the fetish out of there? Yeah. Yeah, I see where I see where you're coming from, Becca and April, and where the body. The thing of it is men and women are attracted to each other, and us as men, let's be honest, we see a woman's body. Yes, it's attractive. I think, but that's desire, and that there's a time and place for it, and following it biblically, that's with a man and his wife, and you know, and but yeah, you want a man that wants all of you, not just because you're beautiful from the outside, but inside too. Um, yeah. Okay. So, all right. Okay. So, what do you guys think about the three Brad thing? And that's we were talking earlier because I put out the good, bad, and ugly Brads, and that's just kind of a way to look out, and it could go the other way with women too, men. Um, what kind of woman do you want a relationship with? Someone that's just out having fun, or someone that wants a relationship? Someone that's loyal, someone that has spirituality to her, woman of faith, someone that you have a good relationship with, you have fun with. You both want the same things in life. I mean, and when I made that video, when I came on tonight and I talked about the three Brads, I just putting, a little food for thought for ladies out there that are thinking of dating interracially. And it don't necessarily have to be a white guy. It could be an Asian, Hispanic. But you got those guys out there that want that experience, that want to know what it's like to be with a black woman. And then you got the ones that generally are attracted and want a relationship. You just got to go for what you want, what you're looking for. And you got to vet these people because they will deceive you. And ladies, you know, guys are out there and they'll make you think that they really care for you and they got love for you, but they have a alternate agenda, you know, and that's what you got to look out for. And some people are great actors; they'll have you fooled, but you got to look for the signs, you know. Um, so anyway, what do you ladies think? Hello, can you guys hear me? Okay. Did I
I can
freeze
hear
up?
you. I can hear. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I
I
can hear
wasn't
you. I
hearing
was on
nothing. I
mute
thought,
for a
oh, I'm
second.
losing.
I always put on mute so
Did
none
I
of.
freeze up? Oh, okay. I wasn't hearing nothing. I thought,
I'm so sorry. I keep doing that. I keep forgetting to turn it off from the television.
no worries. I just thought I lost the audio because I'm sitting there talking and Becca just got off. Hey, good night, Becca. Thanks for coming on.
But what I was gonna say to you, I agree. Everyone had valid points, and about the whole fetishization. Oh, I think I got it out. My point on that is that we're being dishonest with ourselves if we say, "Oh, I see someone, I like this, I like Brad Pitt's blue eyes, or I like Idris Albert's, you know, his smile, his skin tone." We all fetishize each other just a little bit, but I think some people do take it to the next level and they can be disrespectful about it. And even people in your own community and race. So I think we America, the world has gotten to this place of cancel culture, and we're overly sensitive about everything. You know, like I said, we're in the age of information and social media and instant, you know, images. So we get very sensitive about things. And not to take anything away from April, you answered her question and she wanted to discuss the distinction with fetish. I mean, being uncomfortable with being fetishized opposed to being actually loved. But sometimes people, being attractive to them could be the first thing that draws them in. But then you can cultivate and foster love with that person outside of your beauty or what would attracted it to him, would attracted you to him. Like for instance, Brent and Sandy. You saw Sandy. You're very attracted to Black women. You love things about her, her skin, her smile, her face, whatever. But then when you probably got to really know her, you said, "Oh wow, I feel like she's a package." I.e., Brent married Sandy. So my point is, it doesn't mean that you're a weirdo or you crazy, but people are visual. We could BS ourselves and tell us no, we're not, but we are. We are visual, and everyone wants to be validated internally and externally. We want internal validation. We want to be liked for ourselves, our personalities, and who we are. But we also, every woman, you want to feel beautiful. You want to feel loved. You want to feel adored to a degree. And you know, like I said, it's just vetting, having real conversations with people, talking to them, and just asking them kind of slightly hard, uncomfortable questions like, "Hey, you know, what do you think about, you know, interracial dating? What do you like about me?" You know, if someone is constantly talking about, "Oh, your fat ass," excuse my language, or your fat booty, or your breath, you know, then that gets to a weird place.
Yeah, no, and you're right. I mean,
It could get to a weird, right? Go ahead, go ahead. Mhm.
oh, yeah, I was just kind of iterating what you said. Yeah, and how you talk to somebody. I mean, and that's going into, you know, it'd be just better to say you're beautiful. You don't have to talk about somebody's butt or their body shape or nothing like that. And you're right, it is visual. Um, for men to approach women, they're attracted. They see, hey, she looks nice, and they go approach. And but when you approach, you need to look for more than just the beauty, you know. And that's what we all need to do, you know. I mean, any of us getting in a relationship got to vet, both men and women. Because if you don't vet and you don't get the right one, and like my dad always said, he said, you know, if you get the right wife, you'll live in paradise. You get the wrong one, you'll be living a life of disaster. And that's so true. Um, You know, I have my wife and I live a good life. I'm living an awesome life. I mean, you know, we're not perfect people, but we got a perfect situation, you know, and she loves me. I love her. And we built a life together. But I could have married someone that, you know, didn't really like me that much, or, you know, thought she loved me, but went off somewhere else, or, you know, wasn't loyal, or just maybe some that don't know how to manage money. And, yeah, I mean, there could be so many things that could go wrong. And, you know, if you don't get the right person, the right wife, the right husband, you know, your life could be rough.
But that also goes back to the vetting and just. But you do
Yeah,
have to take a chance on people. You do have to, because then you'll never be with anyone. But
yeah,
you take a chance, you learn from it, and you just know what you'll accept and what you won't accept moving forward. And again, like I said, not to take away from anybody, it's hard to discern. And like I said, I made this in the comments to a young lady, I forgot which one. I'm working on being the best version of me for me, and I work on be my emotional, my mental, my physical, and my financial health. So when I do decide to date out, when I'm doing it for me, so when I do decide to date out, when I do decide to date again, and if I date out, I'm coming to them a place that's just, I'm whole, and I don't feel, you know, and I'm the best version of me. I can be the best version of me in on every front. So not to say I'm gonna be perfect, because there's no such thing as perfect. Come on, I'll never be a
yeah,
model. I'll never be a size probably 0 2. I'll never be I mean, not that I'll never be whatever. But the fact is, I can be the best version of myself. And if I want to find a life partner or something, and I want to go outside of my for my natural counterpart, which is black males, I want to be the best. I want to present myself as the best version of me to that person, and I think that's what you for. And if you present yourself as the best version, no matter, even if they got, oh, I love chocolate skin, or if I like girls with curves or whatever, that's okay. But they'll see that you're so much more than that. They'll see me
Yes.
see. They'll see so that you're so much more than that beautiful chocolate skin, or that that your natural afro hair, or your beautiful African features, or whatever. They can see past it. What I mean? They can still see past that, and they can appreciate you even more, and that you're more of a prize because you're the best version of yourself. You're the best version, but be the best version of yourself. I tell all sisters, be the best version of yourself for yourself, and not for anyone else first. Do it for you. So when you wake up in the morning, you look good. You say, "Well, I'm happy with how I look. I'm happy the way I feel. I know that my financial house is in order to the best it can be. I know that my mental, emotional, and spiritual health is the best it can be."
yeah,
So, and then when you and like I said, we're becoming more of a secular. The world's becoming more secular, meaning less religious, and I think that plays a role in why people don't not a lot of people they don't value marriage as much, and they don't value commitment, especially in our community with black males. But I thank God other groups of communities, that's why I do encourage black women to date out, because other communities do value, it's not perfect, but they do value commitment and marriage, if that's what you're seeking. But like I said, love on yourself, love up on you, and be the best version of you for whomever you date. And if you want to date, and I feel like black women shouldn't go from a place of anger, like I'm upset or unhappy with my experience with black males, and going to some white guy, and you're bringing that same fever and anger, or that you're not love up on yourself. Take some time to yourself. Sometime be celibate, be by yourself for a minute, and fix you for you. Be the best you for you. And I know I emphasize that a lot. And when you do that, when you do date, they're gonna see the best version of you, and they're gonna fall in love with you, and they're gonna like you, regardless of
yeah,
maybe and that's just what I say. That's it.
yeah. Let me reiterate on that. Yes, you're totally right. I want to say something, and a lot of times, and this is with me. Um, Black women They don't have to be a total knockout, but how they carry themselves and how they dress. And I'm not talking dress and showing body parts, but dress nice and how they carry themselves. And the most attractive feature for a black woman to me is a professional black woman. And you know, someone that just got confidence, someone that but confidence with a little humility to where you can she's confident but approachable. And how she carries herself. I remember seeing one black woman that I used to work with, and I was attracted to her. And other people told me, well, she's okay. She don't really look that good. But to me, she was beautiful because of how she dressed, how she talked to you, how she carried herself. She was confident, but she was approachable. There, and that's the most attractive thing to me. And that's what my wife had. I mean, she's professional. She wore nice clothes. And like you're saying, be the best you. Um, you know, and most of us, myself included, are average. But if you carry yourself well, you dress well, of course, hygiene and just being professional, that's attractive. Very much so. And that goes a long way because a lot of times it's image, right? Not just how you look, but how you carry yourself, how you
Right.
dress, And I always tell people, uh, you could make yourself so attractive, and I just wish people would iterate that more because we're in a a culture today where it's all about beauty and dress size and
Mhm.
looks and money, and but
Mhm.
we miss all the other things, and we're all and most people ain't supermodels and extremely good looking. Most are average, and that's
Right.
okay. But you can make yourself more attractive just by how you carry yourself. And I want to put this out there too. I've heard black women say, when you date white men, you got to have your body together. You got to have, you got to be in shape and all this stuff. And I'm not saying, you know, don't focus on getting in shape. Everybody should. But, us white guys are people too. We're not extremely uh, picky. I mean, some are, but we're just people too, you know. And a lot of us ain't Brad Pitts. So, you know, but you do the best with what you got. And I like how you said that. Do you do the best you? And that should be the message for everybody.
I think
Because
you, I agree with you on that, Brent, and also with fitness. This is bad. The young lady that's on the panel. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting your title.
just know it all.
Let's know it all. Thank you for helping me out, Brent. Because I'm not looking at the TV set. I'm actually on my cell phone, and the print's so tiny I can't even see what the heck that is. But okay, that's what happens when you get older. But I just don't have the best vision. But I do agree with the both of you guys. And most of us out here, you're right, we're average people. Um, so I think we just want someone to know who we are, to get to know us, to love us, and vice versa for us to be able to love them. It's all about companionship and a friendship. I think friendship these days may not be, it's not, it's underrated because I think if you can be really good friends, that's probably what's going to carry us through the relationship when times do get turbulent, or in any relationship you have your challenging moments. But if you guys have a good get along very well, and at least that's what I'm looking for, and we um we may be different in races and different, but there's some things I can learn from him, as well as there's things that he can learn from me, and just getting to know one another as you would with any relationship. It's not just the black and white. Obviously, there's some difference there, but just getting to know someone, and they treat you right and you treat them right, and you develop a strong bond with one another.
Yeah, and that's right. I mean, in any relationship, you want to be friends with who you're dating. Um,
I
and
agree. I agree totally.
also, I just want to say too, developing friendships. What we're doing here, talking on YouTube, it's a good thing. We're learning from each other. We're talking about, uh, we might be talking about the goofy three Brads that I'm talking about, but you know what? That's life, and that's something we can relate to, and maybe somehow we go about our relationships, how to vet people. Um,
Yeah.
but you got to be friends. Me and my wife are best friends. We have to be. Um, and that's where it starts. And and what I like to say about us coming on here, I enjoy this. This is great. I love it. And it don't matter how many subscribers or none of that stuff. It just come together and getting people's different thoughts, and having shows, and of course we're going to have people that disagree with what we're talking about, and we're going to have trolls here and there. Hey, did you guys know my last live I did got flagged?
You said that on the last video blog.
Yeah, what happened is we were talking about how we did that private dating show and stuff. And one thing I'll say about that, I want to do it private because I want it to be professional, and but anyway, we were talking about that show, right? And then I did it in my guest bedroom, and I had the TV on behind me, and I put it on YouTube, and it was showing different videos behind me. So,
Right.
that's all it was doing. The sound was turned off, and you could see it in the background, but my big head was in the way of most of it. But we did that live, and I got flagged for it because one of the videos that was showing, I guess the person that owns it put a copyright claim on it.
Wow.
And to me, that's petty. I wasn't showing it. There was no sound to it. It was just in the background. But
we did not hear anything on that. And we really couldn't see it that well because it was so far away.
Yeah, and my head was in the way of most of it, so I don't know how I would be taking any of the royalties from that. I mean, I don't think people said, "Hey, let's watch the Roadrunner," because I want to see the videos in the background that I could barely see because his big head's in the way, and I can't even hear the sound. So I don't know. But anyway, it is what it is. But it just blew my mind that somebody would put a claim on that. I mean, I could see if I was showing it,
Right.
but because it's in the background, I don't know. It's kind of weird with YouTube and stuff. And maybe if I put a copyright before that, that might have covered it. But I didn't think I had the copyright what's in the background. I don't know.
Is that the disclaimer that you always put up? Is that the disclaimer thing that you always?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't put it up because I wasn't showing videos. But it was in the background. I didn't think it was a big deal, but I guess it was. I don't know. But if I do show videos, I always put the disclaimer, and I give the people, the person that where it came from, the credit for it, because that's what you're supposed to do with the Fair Use Act. But I could have probably fought it and won it because it was just I don't know. But I just deleted that part just to get the flag off it so people could see the rest of the video. But and that's why I tell people, you know, when they want me to show movies and stuff, I can't do that because of copyright issues. And you know, people on YouTube, they show videos, music videos, and do reactions. There's some people having issues with that with copyright. So it's a fine line. You know, so yeah.
Brian, I said so many rules and regulations. I mean, I'm trying to remember, you know, some of this stuff.
Yeah, just make sure when you show videos, make sure you put the disclaimer out. You know, you're doing it for education and commentary, and you know, you don't want to show movies or
that level right now anyway. No, nowhere close, but that is something to take in consideration. I know I did. I mean, I guess we're allowed to read the words of a song because I did do that. Nobody ever bothered me though.
yeah, it was just that one video. I mean, like I said, I don't think I was in the wrong because I wasn't showing it. It was in the background. I believe I could have won that. I could have challenged it and won it, but I didn't.
Brent, it could have been a troll because you know a lot of these troll sites, content like
Yeah, but I actually got flagged. They took it down. I got flagged. They put a flag on it. YouTube sent me an email said it's flagged because of copyright claim. So I don't know. Can trolls do that? I mean,
I don't know how. I don't know the tech. I'm not gonna say that I know the technical.
I actually think it came from the owner of it.
It could be. Maybe they have like a list, like if you know the algorithm, and then they pick up certain things, and maybe it could be that. I'm not gonna presume to know exactly how it works. So I don't know how, but I don't know. I mean,
yeah, it could have been the algorithm too. I don't know. It just said where the copyright came from. And yeah, the Fair Use Act, April, that's right. But I didn't think I needed it for what's being seen in the background because I wouldn't really. I mean, if I showed the video to you guys, I get it. That would be wrong. But in the background, that just blew my mind. But you learn. But maybe it's an algorithm thing, like you said, and that's probably makes more sense because I don't. Yeah, because that'd be kind of weird for the owner to say, "Oh, yeah, I see my video in the background." I don't, I don't know. That just blew my mind. But anyway, we're going to do a movie review Sunday on the movie Open. After that, you guys email me and let me know what movie you'd like to do a review on. And when I do a review, I want to have a roundtable, like a panel like we got on here, where we get each person's take on the movie and what they thought about it, and we can talk about it. That'd be fun. But we're going to do it on Open. If you haven't seen it, you can watch it, and it's on Amazon Prime. I guess Amazon Prime Videos or something. Anyway, I watched it, and it's a good story. It's a slow movie, but it's got a good story to it. Did you see it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, it's kind of slow, huh? But but the story's good, I think.
Yeah, the message behind it was good. I just wish they would have switched up some sceneries. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Make it a little more exciting because I was falling asleep.
I hate to say it. I was struggling. I'm gonna be honest. I'm sorry. I mean, I get the concept of developing a relationship. I'm thinking, wow. I was trying to hang in there so I could be a part of the review. But yeah.
Yeah, but we'll do we could do one once a week. I think every Sunday we'll do a little movie review along with the topic of the day. That'll be fun. You guys send me an idea for a movie. I think somebody said, what was that one movie?
Something new?
Something,
I don't know.
something new. Yeah. A lot of people say we want to do that. We can do that one next.
That one's a very good movie. I love it.
Yeah,
I
it
haven't.
was a good
I like
movie.
that one.
Yeah. But we'll do some interracial movies and stuff, and that'll be fun. We'll do that once a week, every Sunday. We'll make it like a new thing. You know, we'll have the Sunday live show. We'll have a panel talk about a subject, but we'll do a movie review on top of it.
Don't you
What
know
do you
what you,
guys
Brent? You should send reminders to people just to make sure.
Oh,
Yeah, I will. I'll put it in the community the community page. I'll put that on there. Also, I put my emails in there too. When you go in there and you look at the channel where it says about what the channel's about, I also put my email address. So if anybody wants to contact me, you can through email. If you got any ideas, and if you want to come on the show, or well, I always put the link up there anyway, unless I'm going to do a one-on-one or something like that. But anyway, if you guys got any ideas or you want to come on, or but we're going to do a movie review. I got to think of a topic to do Sunday, but I'll come up with something, and then we'll do a movie review on top of it. And
review that. Really do like that, Brent. Movie review or maybe a little bit of time on that. That's a really, for me, that's a great idea. I love movies. So any like interracial relationships, I think that's
yeah. Now we can't watch the movie together. I wish we could, but
absolutely not. If everybody just take on their own time to watch it, then the next time we come back, like we're going to do about Open, we come back and we give our thoughts on that.
That's a good idea.
So.
Yeah. I think I'll plug that in, a movie review with the topic. This week it'll be Open, and I think we'll go to something new, because that's the movie most people have been telling me they want to do a movie review on. So this Sunday will be Open. The following Sunday we'll do something new. How's that sound?
Something new, just to let people know, at least on my end. I think, or is it Netflix? Or I have Prime, but I think you have to pay for it. And let somebody know another channel where you can watch something new for free. If you guys do, please look.
Something new. It's an older movie, so you might be able to catch it on Showtime or HBO or something like that.
Now, if I go in the garage and dig through all my stuff in storage, I probably can find it. I actually have that movie somewhere back in the day when we were buying movies. Remember, guys, back then? Now you can pull it up on the internet. But yeah, I have it. I just somewhere around here.
Yeah, but we'll do a movie review, and but if anybody has any ideas, just shoot them to me. No, Amy has to work, Josh.
Somebody mentioned, I don't know who it was. Was it Corinna? I thought that was good with Whoopi. That was another good movie too. I think it's
what was that?
Corinna, something. I think I might.
Oh yeah, that's another one we can watch too. Yeah, there's so many. I mean, we could do Bodyguard too. That was a good one.
That was good.
Yeah, but yeah, we can do all that stuff. But I'm going to do a movie review with the video on the Sunday live show, and I'm going to try to do it at noon. That way, we're not up too late on Sunday. And Dave, we gotta I gotta shut down here in a minute because it's getting late.
Okay, so noon your time, Brent, but that's 2:00 Eastern Standard, right?
Yes. When I say noon, that's my time. Eastern time is 2:00. Like if you're in New York or up in the East Coast. Central time, that would be 1:00. Mountain time, that's 12. Pacific, like in California, that'd be 11 o'clock. Does those times sound good for you guys?
Yeah,
That way,
Sounds
I know
good.
I work on the weekends, but I will definitely try to schedule because I do have some flexibility in schedule my hours. So maybe what I try to do is schedule it around that time so I can either work either before or after. Allot myself a couple hours before I get back. So yeah, I can probably work that out. That sounds like a
well,
plan.
and no worries if you can't. You can watch the replay, but yeah, if you want to be on the panel, and you want to be on the panel,
I would like
grandmother's
to.
love,
Yeah, I would
you
like
want
to
to
be on the
participate?
panel
Okay.
of it.
Yeah, we'll do that. And what I'll do too is if the ladies I got on the panel, if there's room, I'll put the link up there. I can bring up as many as I can. Um, but I want to have people that actually watch the movie to do the replay.
Brent, I sent you an email like last week. Did you get it?
Last week,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
You asked us to email you some suggestions and stuff like that. It says Ms. Know It All on the subject line.
last week. Okay, I'm looking now.
It's just if you search Ms. Know It All the way it's spelled on YouTube.
Okay.
You
I
don't
don't see it. I don't see it.
you don't have to say the full.
Let me do a.
Know it
I'm
all.
sorry. I don't see it.
Well, I'll send you another one. I'll send it again. Maybe
Yeah.
sent it to the wrong email
When you
address.
send it, make sure you put Roadrunner NM89.
And what?
NM.
NM89. I think I did that. I'll try it again.
Oh, did you? I
I'll
don't
do it
see it. I don't see it here. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, try it again and then yeah. But I got a lot of ideas. But
I'm
yeah.
getting ready off now. I'm gonna say my goodbyes now. It's been a long day, and I need to.
Okay. Yeah, I need to wrap this up.
Yes.
Hey,
Well,
thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
good
It
night.
was. Good night, Miss Hall. You
Good
guys
night,
take care.
Susan.
You too. Have a good night.
Good night,
Thanks for
Brent.
coming up.
Take care.
Good night,
All right.
Miss Know-It-All. And send me that email.
I will.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get it for if I don't respond, gosh, yeah. If I don't respond, just talk to me through the comment section, but I should get it. I'll respond as soon as you give it to me. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching tonight. Had a good discussion. But keep that in mind. The three Brads, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's with any group of men, women. You got to vet. You want that person of character and to be the best relationship you can. And remember, be the best you can be. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And I have big love for each and every one of you. And, the ladies that come on the panel, thank you so much. It's been a privilege and it's been awesome as always. And I'll see you on the next live. And I'll put the times out on the community page. Sunday, we're going live at 11 o'clock Pacific, 12 o'clock Mountain, 1 o'clock Central, and 2 o'clock Eastern. But I'll put that out there on the community page. So look out for that. We'll be doing our movie review on the movie Open. So if you haven't seen it, watch it, and we'll do a movie review on it. And then after that, we'll do something new. I think we'll do that for the week after, and that'll be awesome. So we'll have a topic for the show, and then we'll do a movie review too. So make it a little more exciting, a little more fun. But thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining me this late at night. And, God bless you. God bless your families. And you need to reach me. My email's out there. Any comments, concerns, or any ideas. My email's always open. And anyway, you have a good night, and we'll see you on the next live Sunday. I might shoot a video in between, but I think I'm going to wait to do a live for Sunday. So, but anyway, have a good night. God bless you and your family, and I'll see you soon.